Would you look at what the cat dragged in? It's Zach and Jonny on another episode of Jumbled, brought to you by Audible. Head over to audibletrial.com/jumbled and get your free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. They got all the books, all of them. Every single book that has ever been created ever is there, and you can find it. And we will see you guys here shortly. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Jumbled, your favorite podcast about nothing. I'm Zach.
And I'm Jonny. I'm back.
Welcome back, man.
Thanks, man. It's good to be back.
Yeah, you're looking real nice. You're looking
real nice. Officially off the market.
Officially. Like last week was like the
the
last chance.
2 weeks now.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Many women and some men's hearts broke on September 1st.
Did you have to padlock your door?
Yep. So you know how like the tradition of the groomsmen is to like protect the bride from rival tribes from like being kidnapped? Did you know that?
No, I think that's a Canadian thing.
Oh, all right. Maybe that's a Canadian thing. But it's actually the reverse. Allie's groom's lady were to protect me from being stolen away.
Oh, okay. Well, I can understand why, man.
I did get real fat on our honeymoon, which was nice. I gained 12 pounds in 5 days.
Oh, dude, sounds like a dream.
Which makes it even more impressive is that Allie and I hiked every day we were there, and some of them were pretty big, and an elevation gain of close to a mile. So,
wow.
Yeah, we were motoring, but I just I let it go for the most part. I got super judged in a restaurant.
Really?
Yeah, I got double fat shamed over my wedding week. Unbelievable.
What?
Yeah. So
what happened?
So the first one was at the wedding. We got our meals, and I think I told the story about our event coordinator fat shaming when we picked our meals, and I asked for like 2.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So anyways, we're at the wedding, whatever, and they're serving dinner, and I'm real excited. And they bring out my plate, and the server's like, wow, it must be nice, and like laid it down. And I was like, what does that mean? I'm paying for this.
How am I supposed to take that?
Yeah. Like, yeah, I am having a great day. Thank you. Thanks for noticing. Thanks for bringing me this delicious plate of animal flesh that I can eat and enjoy.
Like, you realize it's my wedding day, right?
Yeah, no. And then the second fat shaming was on our honeymoon. So Al and I planned. So I was still like not really eating breakfast, trying to maintain some level. Like I was trying to stick to 2 meals a day kind of thing.
Okay.
Instead of my usual 1. So Al and I planned to fast for breakfast, and then we were doing this boat tour in this cool lake in the mountains. And then It takes you like behind some mountains and into this like really cool little island peninsula thing. And I say island peninsula because it depends on how high the water is. I know they're different things.
Okay.
You know the difference, right?
Yes, a peninsula is Florida and an island is Hawaii.
Yeah, sure. I think you get the concept.
Yeah.
A real scientific way of explaining it. I like it. So we do this there's a walk up there. It's like a kilometer. So 1/3 a mile, a third mile. What do you call that? What do you call that in America?
A third of a mile, I guess.
Third of a mile. All right. I mean, sometimes you guys have weird things like quarts.
Like quarts, yeah. I guess quarts are pretty weird, huh?
So, and then we come back, and then the plan was to drive or to do this little like 3-kilometer hike, like 2 miles. And then go get lunch or something. And I was like, okay, cool. Works for me. So we do the boat tour. We do the little hike. We get back to the main place, and we're walking towards the little lake loop trail. And then Al gets, her attention gets grabbed by a different trail. She's like, well, let's do this one. And we look it up on the map. And I was like, okay, that's like 15K. And a mile, like going up a mile, basically. And we haven't eaten.
Good walk.
And we didn't bring a lot of water. I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, let's do it." So we climbed this mountain, and then on the way up, I see a sign for a buffet. And I was like, "Oh fuck, mountain buffet! We're doing this thing!" And I'm so excited because at this point I'm fasted. Like I had a granola bar. Like we had a couple granola bars on us.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat this granola bar. I'm gonna pound out this hike in like 3 hours. And
I feel like a bear set up that sign. Like the mountain buffet sign was just like a bear.
It's actually just us. We are the buffet.
Yeah.
There were a lot of bears there, so that was fun. Saw a couple. So we power up this hike. Like I'm like sprinting. I'm so excited for this buffet. I was like telling me to slow down. She's like, stop running up the goddamn mountain and like enjoy the walk. So we get out to the top and it was pretty sweet. And there's a couple like little technical spots which were fun. Took some pictures and then kind of chilling. Usually people like sit up there and enjoy the view. And we were up there for like 5 or 10 minutes. And I kind of looked at Al and was like, buffet? I was like, let's just go. So we're motoring down and I'm, just so excited. And we get down and we're walking towards the buffet and Al's like looking at her times and that route. She's like, John, you realize you were so excited for this buffet that you did that hike in 75% of the time that they say the average is, or like what the recommended is. We did it in 3 hours instead of 4.
You hiked for 3 hours for a buffet.
Yeah, basically. Happy wife, happy life, right?
Yeah, that's why you did it.
She wanted that hike, man, and I was like, all right, let's do this. You gotta keep my pace, though.
Incentive was the buffet,
yeah. So we start I'm like, yeah, cool. We crush that hike. I'm feeling good. I'm ravenous, and I'm going into this mountain buffet that everyone's talking about is so good, and the doors are fucking closed, and we missed it by half an hour.
Oh no!
Yeah, apparently they're only open for a select period for lunch and then dinner, and we got in the in between times. So I was fucking devastated.
I'm sure you hiked for 3 hours for a buffet that you missed.
Yeah, did that hike, fasted, missed the buffet.
Oh,
so Al knows that at this point I'm both extremely hangry, but also food depressed because I am like a stray dog and I get really obsessed about food, and it becomes my entire life, and that's why sometimes I'm really fat. But then I get that under control. It's all good. So her immediate response is, well, there's a little cafe. Let's get you a sandwich and a Diet Coke. 'Cause she knows I love Diet Coke. And then we were going to stop at these falls. And she's like, let's get this in you. You have a little bit. We'll go see these falls real quick. And then we'll go into town and we'll go to a restaurant. And because she lived in Jasper, and I asked her what other buffets there are. And she said there's an Indian buffet. And I was down for that, but she kind of talked some sense into me. One, it has really bad ratings. Two, she asked if I really wanted to eat Indian food buffet and then go hiking again the next day.
Fair question.
But there were no other buffets. And I'm really pissed and sad about this buffet. And she's just, John, we'll go to a restaurant and you can order as many plates as you want. I don't care. Let's go see this waterfall. So we get my sandwich. I get a sandwich. Al gets a sandwich. I get a Coke. And it's $30-some, which was just ridiculous. But then we're in a super remote place in the mountains. So you don't really have a choice.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So that pisses me off. So we go to the falls. It was pretty cool. And we go to a buffet, or not a buffet, a restaurant, a nice restaurant. And I'm looking at the menu and I'm going to order this. I'm going to order this. And I had my meal set out, and then Al's kind of reading, and she said, hey, do you see they have a challenge burger from the TV show You Gotta Eat Here? And I just immediately like sprawl out, like grab the table. What? How did I miss that? So here's the burger setup.
So good old competition eating Jonny came back out.
Oh yeah, I know I said I was retired, but I was ready. So
let's get into the story, man.
So this burger, because we're in the mountains, had a beef patty, a chicken patty, an elk patty, a duck patty, and bacon.
That just sounds The duck patty part just sounds gross.
Oh,
like
it's so good, dude. I would 100% get that burger every time I go to Jasper. So it has
and then the last one was a moose, you said?
and bacon.
Oh, bacon.
No moose. I wish there was moose. And then the kicker, it comes with a double poutine.
Wow.
If you eat it, you get a free dessert.
How long do they give you?
You have unlimited time, which is kind of silly because our waitress, after I did it, told me that she completed it and she was pretty petite. And I kind of gave her some praise, and she told me that she actually took an hour and a half to eat it.
Right.
And I was like, that's kind of cheating. Like,
yeah,
I ate that burger and I was hungry again in an hour and a half, like that. So I get this thing comes out, and it comes out in this giant bowl. I have a picture of it. I'll send it to you. This giant bowl, and it has the burger and this massive thing of poutine. And the lady brings it out, and like the servers and stuff are, kind of saying things. And the server lays it down in front of me. And this lady across the table apparently tracks it, and Al's watching her watch me. Tracks the dish come down, sets it, and sees as I'm picking it up like all of the meat. And I'm assuming she was a vegetarian, but apparently she gave me the dirtiest, shameful looks ever, that I was gonna gorge on all of this food. And Al told me, and then I was trying to be, take a look without being so obvious. But I could tell that she was really mean mugging me while I'm just ripping flesh apart and shoving it in my face hole.
So I would have, like, with a mouthful of food, just screamed. Not even like words. Yeah.
Just food flying everywhere. So
yeah.
I catch her, and then I just stop, and I'm kind of sideways, so she's here, and then I just turn my head and give her the greasiest smile with this burger, and she was just like scoffed it off.
How old was this person?
I don't know, probably like mid to late 40s, early 50s.
God, mind your own business. That's something that I hate when people do that. Like, you know what? People are entitled to eat whatever they want to eat. Like, if they want to go out and complete a challenge, you don't know the person's story. Like, you can't. It's stupid. And
I could maybe see it if I was unhealthily obese. But
sure.
I'm 6'3", 210 pounds, and pretty low body fat percentage. Like, I'm not. Like, I'm a fit guy, and I just ran up a fucking mountain.
Yeah, I think people just need to mind their own goddamn business too. Like, even if the person's, insanely obese, like, they're making the choice to be that way, only they can want to better themselves. So, but it's like, just eat your salad, eat your goddamn salad,
So I crushed this burger so fast. One, it was incredibly delicious. And that's always my fear. And I know we talked about some challenge burgers that I've done, the two that have failed, that were just not good to eat.
Mm-hmm.
This one was probably the best burger ever. And
do you think it was the best burger ever because you were food deprived from a very long hike?
There definitely could have been some of that. That probably helped. But just the combination, it was such a John burger of all the different meats in there. It was just built for me. And I ate it so fast, and our server comes back, and she's just staring at me and says, "That's pretty incredible. You've eaten it real fast, and you had a starter of chicken wings before."
Oh my god, dude. Yeah. How long did it take you from start to finish?
The burger lasted maybe 3 minutes. The poutine took a little bit longer. It was pretty big, and I was kind of talking and slowing down and just trying to enjoy it a little bit.
Sure.
But yeah, maybe 10 minutes to eat the whole thing.
Oh my god, dude.
I absolutely demolished it. It was the best $35 I've ever spent on a burger. And then I got dessert, and she kind of made the joke of, "So do you want your dessert?" And I was like, "Lady, I could eat another one of these burgers right now. Give me my dessert. I don't think I'm too full for that shit. You bring me out another burger, now we're talking. Let's go double or nothing."
There you go. What do you get for eating a second one?
Yeah.
Did you get a shirt or anything?
No, it was a pretty classy joint, which I was kind of surprised they had this burger.
Yeah.
But I got a free dessert, and I got churros with some cool coconut I don't know, liquid pudding. Not quite a pudding, but
wow,
custard. A coconut custard is what they called it.
Wow.
Can't complain, man.
No, congratulations on your return to the competitive food eating.
I found it. I just got to run up a mountain first, and I'm good to go.
Did you already fill out your waiver for the Nathan's hot dog eating competition this coming year?
No, but I should.
I would love that, dude. Just watch you shoving
just
wet hot dog buns in your mouth. God, that's like the grossest part of competitive eating.
I want to be one of those guys that goes into that competition and is just really slow and opens the hot dog and puts like a line of mustard and a line of ketchup and just
you eat like 2 hot dogs. You're sitting next to what's his name? Kobayashi. Yeah. You're sitting right next to Kobayashi, and he's like, yeah, 1 second, and you're just like
10 down before I open the bun.
Putting a little bit of relish on top of it. Just really taking your time. I like that idea.
We should figure that out. We should do that.
That would be fun, dude. That'd be fun. Well, it's good to see you, man.
You too,
it was,
bud.
Yeah, it was a
lonely couple weeks.
Lonely couple weeks, but made it work.
Good.
How'd you like last week's episode? Did you hear it?
I did not hear it. I am so far behind. So for our honeymoon, Allie and I actually promised each other that we would try and have minimal phone time. Mm-hmm. So neither of us brought our work phones, and we didn't bring work laptops, and like no emails. And where we stayed they kind of had Wi-Fi, but it was spotty, somewhat intentionally because they want people to go outside. Mm-hmm. We didn't have, we stayed in a little cabin, right? So we didn't have a TV. We had a bed, a little couch with a little fireplace, and a tiny kitchen table, and a kitchenette, and a bathroom. And it was one room, basically. So.
Nice. It's not bad. I saw a few snaps coming through here and there.
Oh, yeah.
So
we did try and be more active on social media, which is something I know we have talked about. But a lot of people were bugging us about pictures of the wedding, pictures of what we're doing.
Oh, yeah. That's totally just how that is, man. You got people just wondering when the pictures are coming. And I remember going through all that stuff, too. So fun times, though. Speaking of, was there a resolution that was made for the Joe and Jonny ping pong?
Well, Zach, I am glad you brought that up because I was going to segue right into that by saying the most important thing that happened on my wedding week was playing Joe and ping pong.
Not the wedding. Yeah, that wasn't the important part.
Hey, man, this ping pong is like a 10-year-long rivalry, okay?
Yeah, it's true.
It goes deep. True. So Joe got cocky. We played. He lost. He lost badly.
What was the final?
5-0.
Oh, clean sweep.
Clean sweep. He did give me a run for my money on the first game. He was actually in the lead, and I came back, and I think that tilted him. And then he was complaining about home court advantage and that I had a better lit side. So I said I'd trade him, and he said no, I'm used to this side. And I was like, well, what do you want from me?
I've got a better lit. You've got a better lit side. Oh man, excuses, dude.
Yep, he went down in a burning. I wouldn't even say.
It's not a blaze of glory.
No,
it's
he
just a blaze.
Just a blaze, like a paper airplane trying to fly through a forest fire.
Well, congratulations. I know that was something that we had chatted about before you skedaddled off on your merry way.
Joe was a trooper because him and Nikki came out to the our out of towner barbecue the next day, and we had a lot more people than they were expecting, and I was trying to hang out, get some good time with Joey, and I knew he wanted to play some ping pong. It's like, just hang in there, people are gonna leave. And then everyone kind of left, and it was mostly a couple of our parents, and my groomsmen who were staying with us, and right. It's like, it's ping pong time, bud. And we scurried downstairs and pulled the table, and some of my other friends are trying to come down to get in the rotation, and I was like, no. Joe and I are playing. We have something to settle here.
Oh man. So I wonder what excuse Joe's gonna make the next time he finds his way onto the podcast, because he's going to.
Oh, I can't wait. And
he's going to. He's gonna say this isn't over.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, I think I'm the undisputed champion of ping pong, the Jumbled ping pong tournament.
Okay.
I'll take on any listeners. Jonny.jumbled@gmail.com.
Jonny.jumbled@gmail.com. Hit him up.
And
we should put your initials on, on the art. There's actually a ping pong paddle on the art. I don't know if you've ever looked close.
I did notice that,
enough.
actually. I did notice that.
We should change the artwork up to put your initials on it.
I would like you to put, like, me as Pac-Man eating Joe.
Ooh, you as Pac-Man eating Joe. We might be able to do that. I'll have to see.
Or Johnny is greater than Joe.
Yeah. Well, we could definitely make just like a Pac-Man Instagram post or something like that.
Please do that. Can you please do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And tag Joey in it?
Absolutely.
Oh, baby.
And you know what? I'll make it a video. It'll be a still picture, but it'll be the picture of or it'll be like maybe a GIF of Pac-Man eating the ghost or something.
Yeah.
Yep. I like it.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I'll have to work on that one, man.
Oh, I'm gonna share that thing every day.
Every day, yeah. Just send it to Joe every day.
Every day until Joe can beat me in ping pong. Which who knows? Who knows?
I don't. Maybe Joe's just gonna start practicing, but he'll probably make an excuse about his,
ankles,
pre-arthritis or whatever he's.
Or he'll say,
"Oh,
I was drinking and you weren't drinking." See, that's a personal choice, man.
Yeah, I made an international trip. You guys should just both go to I don't know,
Asia.
Yeah, just somewhere completely unrelated. Oh, there you go. But they hold the paddle differently. You gotta master the little downward paddle.
Pen hold, yeah.
Yeah, man. Do you remember that game for Xbox, the Rockstar table tennis?
I love table tennis.
Oh, dude,
Joe had it. We had some heated matches in that too.
I have it, dude.
Oh my god!
It was mine. I'm not sure that Rockstar made another one, but they should.
I would love. That was so fun.
I wonder if I can play that on my Xbox One. I think I can.
I think I still have that game, but I don't have an Xbox because I didn't want to give it up.
You didn't want to give the game up?
Yeah, I just wanted it for the memories. I think I traded in my Xbox 360 and a bunch of controllers and 40 games because I don't typically sell games.
Right.
And I held on to that one, and the dude asked me, he's like, do you want to trade this one in too? And I was like, no, I'm keeping this one.
You're like, don't touch it. Don't touch it.
This one's special.
Got all precious on it.
Yep.
So I don't know if you heard while you were out in the wilderness, Elon Musk was on the Joe Rogan podcast.
I did. I saw a lot of kerfuffle about it. So I just started listening to it today. And I have some thoughts, but I want you to take this where you wanted to take it first.
Well, I just wanted to say that he's my hero. Like, he's my new hero in every way, shape, and form.
So I'm only about 30 minutes into the podcast, maybe 40. And I will say that I've noticed that he's starting to relax and warm up. He was weird and it was really bad podcasting for the first 15, 20 minutes, though.
There's a lot, even on the video. I watched the video on YouTube. Oh my
gosh. I would love to see his facial expressions. When he says, I'm an alien, he's, without a doubt, I'm waiting for the next conspiracy series, because Jer 100% will bring that up and say, I told you so. He even admitted it, but he's doing it in a joking way, so now he's hiding it.
Yeah.
Jer's infected my brain.
Yeah. Yep, that's a very conspiratorial thing for you to think there, Johnny. No, I just like his outlook on life and like why he does what he does. Like, they were talking about digging the tunnel system under LA. And Joe was like, so who'd you have to talk to? He's like, oh, we just went down to the local courthouse and got a permit. got a permit to dig a hole. And he's like, okay, well, didn't you have to like talk to somebody else to make sure it was okay to dig under the city? He's like, no, we just started digging. He's like, why are you doing that? He's like, well, I live in Los Angeles and don't really like sitting in traffic, and just sort of seemed like a fun thing to do. And that was like the answer for all of his questions on like why he does stuff.
I had this idea and
seemed like it was fun.
Do it.
Yeah,
I loved the definitely not a flamethrower.
Yeah, and that brought me back to when I brought that up on the first solo podcast.
Oh man, I wanted one of those so bad. Al loves Elon Musk and Tesla, and as soon as he released those, I sent it to her and said mini Tesla in the email. And then she opened it. It was like, God damn, you're not buying a flamethrower.
But it's not a flamethrower.
It's definitely not a flamethrower.
And I like that the whole point behind calling it not a flamethrower was so they could ship it internationally.
Yeah, 100%. I loved it. Yeah, he's starting to warm up now.
Yeah,
at least where I'm at in the podcast, and I'm liking it more. Listening to him and Joe talk about bonobos and chimps.
Oh yeah,
was so
why they're not in the zoos.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that'd be real awkward for kids.
I was just thinking while I was listening to that before they even got to the point where they mentioned bonobos. Like, you never see bonobos at a zoo. Like, I don't think I've ever been to a zoo and saw a bonobo.
Horny little bastards.
Yeah. Yep. Because they're just resolving everything with just a little bit of bump and grind, dude.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe a lot, depending on how bad they're arguing.
Let's stop to take a second to talk about our sponsor, Audible. Head over to audibletrial.com/jumbled and get your free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. The book that I'm going to recommend for the month of September is Sclars and Stripes. It's actually not an audiobook. It's an Audible original. So head over, check it out. The whole premise behind Sclars and Stripes. If you don't know, by the way, Randy and Jason Sklar, the Sklar brothers, they are a comedic duo. They're twins. If you haven't listened to their stuff before, also listen to that. But the whole premise of Sclars and Stripes is they go around when they're touring. They go around the city that they're visiting and they pick up things to talk about. And they try to learn as much as they can about the city. And then they go up on stage and they open up with 10 or so minutes of material that they've gathered from just walking around the city and taking it all in. Gives a good insight into other parts of the country. And hey, if you're from whatever specific part of the country that you tune in for, it'll make you laugh as well. Randy and Jason Sklar are really funny guys. Would highly recommend this one. It's unabridged audiobook, 6 hours and 47 minutes, solid amount of time, and you get to keep it. You get to keep it. It's free with a 30-day trial. And, hey, that's it. That's all I'm going to say, guys. Enjoy. audibletrial.com/jumbled. Back to the podcast.
I have seen monkeys fornicate in the zoo. It's quite entertaining at any age. I had this moment.
Monkeys or apes?
They were monkeys.
Yeah.
It would be sick if they were gorillas. That's almost porn-like.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck.
That's I remember seeing, what was it? Oh, I went to, it wasn't a zoo, but it was like a local, I took a video of it too. It was like so there's a place in Kansas City, it's Union Station, right? So they have like this, Science City is what it's called, but inside of Science City they have a little section where they have like reptiles and some birds and like some like
rabbits and like just other various animals that they can sort of have show off a little bit. And then we're walking around. I'm holding, I think at that point, my youngest was maybe 2, I think. So we walk up to the turtles. There's like this turtle, they're behind plexiglass. And I look in, and one turtle is on the ground, and the other turtle is like on top of. It was really weird because I don't think I've ever seen it before. And then the turtle just had its mouth open, and I was like, "Up, just moving on," Have you ever seen that video? Have you?
Yeah,
have you ever
of course I've seen that video.
That's one of the greatest videos ever.
That is the best. That video still holds up. And that's what I was getting at with the monkeys. That I saw this happening, and I was probably 23 and was giggling pretty hard. And to the right of me, there were a bunch of kids all laughing, and to the left of me were all their dads laughing. And I was like, this transcends all age groups for men. Like, this is great no matter what age.
Yeah, I feel like if there would have been like an elderly guy and with like a walker going by, he would have stopped and laughed as well.
Yeah, 100%. I know when I'm 80, I'll be laughing at that 100%.
Dude.
So I wanted a little bit of a spoiler alert, so you can use the fancy spoiler alert. So I saw a lot of stuff on social media about Elon smoking marijuana for the first time on Joe Rogan's show, and I want to know, is it made out to be as big of a deal in the show, or does it just happen kind of casually?
Yeah, no. So it just sort of happens. Joe pulls out it's like
a big blunt. Was
it almost? Yeah, it's a big blunt, but it's like a tobacco and marijuana mix.
Yeah.
So he's in, he probably says, "Oh, you probably can't have any because you're shareholders or whatever." And then Elon's like, "Well, it's legal, right?" And then Joe's like, "Yeah, it's completely legal." And then he just sort of takes a puff on it, but I don't think he actually inhaled it. Like, I feel like he just sort of like puffed it in and then blew it out. Like, there's a big old plume, but he didn't like
suck it in real deep.
Yeah.
He didn't take it deep.
Yeah. So I feel like people are making a bigger deal about it than it is. And honestly, it's not gonna hurt Elon Musk in the end. Like, if anything else, it's getting attention for him.
Mm-hmm. So, and I saw a bunch of things on Instagram that I didn't verify. I didn't have time to verify. But was something about shareholders are pissed or selling, and that it cost him money, and the company and like an executive from the company left. Do you know? Have you heard any of that?
Well, there were 2 people that left the company. I don't know about the shareholders. I don't know anything about that. But one of the executives that left made it clear that he didn't leave because of Elon Musk. He left because the company had gotten bigger and it turned into something that he wasn't really prepared for, is what he'd said. And then the other person's like an HR person, which I don't know how you handle being Elon Musk's HR person, because he just doesn't. He just does not care. Like,
yeah, that's so true. And he was talking about building the tunnel. He's like, "Oh yeah, I just grabbed some of my engineers from SpaceX." Or these guys were like, "I want to help you with this." And you're like, "Okay, you're hired."
Yeah. And he was talking about apparently the cars. I'm not sure what model, but they can like
dance.
Dance.
Yeah. And
like
nobody
knew about it.
Why? How did you think of this? Out of all the things you're doing, and he's like, "Oh well, I just had some engineers come, said this would be kind of a cool idea, and I liked it, so I was like, go for it."
That's the thing, man. They just like. He's just trying to have fun. He's like, he really does approach it with a childlike mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a businessman and he's super smart, but he's at the end of the day, he's like, "Oh, this is cool. Yeah, put it in there. Yeah. Throw it in there."
He's not afraid to try something. That's what the most successful people will always say. You can't be afraid to try something and accept that you're going to fail. Probably 80% of the time.
I feel like Elon Musk watched a lot of Pimp My Ride. And then just God. Like...
He's inspired.
He's just like... Yeah, he's he's inspired, but he's like, I can make it better. So watch out next year for the
Pimp My Ride Tesla.
The Tesla with a tub in the back, or
I was gonna say
Tesla
it makes a lot of sense to put a bunch of fish tanks in an electric car.
Yeah, absolutely. And they talked about I forget what model or what make of car it was, but the exploding electric cars. There was like a hurricane or something, and all of these electric cars started blowing up because they didn't have waterproof batteries.
Yeah,
I forget exactly.
I don't remember either, but.
But I would have just loved to have seen that,
Just your garage just imploding.
God. It was like an entire lot, too. Like, it was like a dealership with, like, all the cars
Fireworks.
just exploding. Yep. Imagine trying to submit a claim on that. It's like, oh, we fucked up and didn't make our batteries watertight. How do you even get by selling that? Like,
That's true.
Aren't there standards?
Well, I don't know. This is why electric cars are bad. Don't buy one.
I mean, I'd take a Tesla.
Bones, baby.
I'd take a Tesla if somebody was like, "Hey, here's a Tesla."
I will never get one.
All right.
Doesn't make sense for me to get one. So, I live in Alberta, and we don't really have green energy. We're an oil and coal province. So that's the irony. That there's a bunch of yippies that drive their Tesla and think they're doing better for the environment because they're not burning gas at the pump, but they're just burning a bunch of coal, which is worse for the environment because they're charging it through their house, and their house gets its electricity through a coal plant. So they're actually doing worse for the environment by...
Unless they've gone all out with Tesla.
Yeah, if they have the
solar
battery
energy
wall and solar, or if you live in a place that has hydro or nuclear, then that makes sense. But it doesn't make sense for me, and I don't like them. I like burning dinosaurs in a tin can.
I like how you're just like, you're laying out all these reasons, and then at the end you're just like, and I don't like them. I don't want it.
I get that they're fast. I've driven in one. They're fun. They're cool. The cockpit is amazing. I wouldn't buy one. It's not where I would spend $100,000.
I just like the idea of a car that doesn't make a lot of noise.
See, I like the noise. That's why I love internal combustion engines. I love that rumble.
See, I'm wanting to eventually get to the point where I'm doing like Will Smith from iRobot, where I'm just
that'd be cool. But
putting on my clothes and stuff in the car, and
that'd be great for people that commute, and that could really change the business world if you had a 3-hour commute between two cities, but you could work in the car. Mm-hmm. So
absolutely,
that would be kind of cool. I love driving. I'm a driver, so I would hate to give that up permanently.
Yeah, I mean I see where you're getting at with that. Do you think there's ever a point in time where the number of electric cars outnumber the number of standard, mechanical cars?
Oh.
And do you think that will alter the way that the roads are set up? Do you think there's going to be like a completely different road system for electric cars?
Probably at some point, especially self-driving. 'Cause some of the best ways to do self-driving is with magnets in the road, and I don't know. I would assume so. I'm probably going to be that 90-year-old dude driving his 90-year-old Toyota Corolla that's still turboed, really loud and obnoxious, and around a bunch of flying cars.
Yeah, I don't think flying cars are ever going to happen, so I think you'll be safe.
So after Elon smoked the Jiffy there, did he come up? Did he say some crazy shit, or was he kind of to keep the same pace?
Like I said, I don't think he really inhaled anything. So I think what affected him more was they were drinking drinking
a lot of whiskey. Yeah.
Yeah, they were drinking whiskey the whole time.
I like that you can hear them pouring it and the ice, and so you just know.
Yeah. So I think that affected him more than anything. And it got to the point where Elon was able to sort of joke around later in the, like,
Oh
maybe
my gosh,
around,
I can't wait.
maybe around hour 45, hour 30. So maybe you got about an hour of Elon where he's really loosened up a lot. Beforehand there was a lot of pauses and like him doing a lot of like
really
deep
pregnant
thinking.
pauses.
Yeah, like doing some deep thinking moments and stuff, and it really didn't lend itself well to a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Even the video portion of it was sort of weird.
Just Joe looking at him and him thinking.
Yeah, exactly. The best part of it though was, have you seen the picture of Elon after he's smoked? That's the best thing that came out of the podcast. Just the picture, because that's going to be memed up everywhere.
There's so many memes right now about that. Memes.
Just meme it up. Dude,
my favorite one links to the flying cars. It's like him, that Elon Musk picture. It's like, yo man, you want a flying car? Just put some wheels on a helicopter.
That's true. They did talk about that.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, no, that wasn't Elon. I think that was Neil deGrasse Tyson on Joe Rogan.
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't gone to that part, but I've just seen a bunch of these memes, which is why I asked if it was actually a pretty funny thing. It sounds like it worked out pretty well, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I don't think there's any panic for Tesla shareholders or anything like that. He didn't get belligerent on the podcast. He wasn't he was still
tame.
Yeah, he was tame. There wasn't anything to be concerned about, but it was still a pretty good one, and it's always cool to sort of hear, where he's what his brain, how his brain works, because you can almost see how his brain works. Mm-hmm. It's weird, like just the way his
thought process is really cool.
Yeah. So I don't know, but he's my new hero, just from mostly the meme, but
meme.
I thought the whole podcast was pretty interesting. So
JRE episode 100, come on baby.
Yeah, come on Joe. You haven't responded yet, man. I don't know what's going on.
We'll unleash the Jumbled listeners on you.
Yeah, the Jumbled listeners, which
activate.
Yep, activate. Thanks for continuing to come back, everybody. We do appreciate it. The numbers, Jonny, are fucking they're moving up, man.
Nice.
They are. We're setting new highs every month,
Oh shit.
And that's the way to do things, man. What was your favorite part of the whole wedding process, other than the actual wedding?
So I had two moments where it really hit home. One was standing at the we didn't have an altar. I don't know. Is it still an altar? I don't know. We were standing. I was waiting for Al. So it was me and my groomsmen, and I can see. It's the way they had the zoo set up. There was a path and whatever, and there's some trees where Al was kind of behind. So I couldn't really see her, but I could kind of see that people were shuffling and they're getting ready to come, and bridesmaids are coming and whatever. And then Al's music comes on, and I saw, I don't know, like a foot of her dress kind of behind a tree. And that's when it became really real to me. Like before that, I was kind of just like, doing my thing. Yeah. And so that moment, and then I immediately started tearing up because it became like a real thing. And then obviously seeing her for the first time, because we didn't do like a first viewing or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And then her coming down, and then our vows, which I was really nervous about. I think we talked about it, but I was pretty nervous about my vows, and some of the advice I told people that were like, well, you're going to get up there and you're not going to even realize that any of us are here. Like you'll be in your own little world with Al and your stepdad who did our wedding. and it'll be okay. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
it was pretty sweet.
It's really weird. Like I recall that moment too, where it's just like
that's
all
it.
you can
Blinders.
see is just yep. There's blinders. It's like there's nothing else. Like even the efficient, you know, like was not even there to me. Like it was just that was that. You know, all that mattered was, you know, what was right in front of me.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, 100%. It was cool.
Did you knock it out of the park? Did you throw a couple jokes in there?
I did. There were a couple jokes. Al was really concerned that our vows weren't going to match, like be too different toned. And I wasn't too concerned about that. But she did hers and they were incredible. And she went first and I started tearing up right away. It was like, fuck, hers are so much better than mine. And then when I got the microphone, I was like, man, I really wish I didn't lose that rock, paper, scissors match to see who went first. Everyone kind of chuckled, and I was like, all right, here we go. And I you know, I said mine. Like I mostly read, but I winged it a little bit and add a little bit more pizzazz.
Sure.
But same thing. Allie cried and was like, oh, yours were so much better than mine. So I was like, you know what? That means we really, you know, thought about each other. So no, that was a really cool moment to have that just be not even a care in the world, like just reading to Al basically. So
yeah, I remember I printed mine out on maybe a
micro
paper,
page.
Maybe like I just had like the font was like 8 point or something like that, and I just
miserable. I printed big. I had a whole page.
Did you? No, well, I wanted to fit it in my pocket, and I didn't want to be up there like uncrumpling a paper. You know?
Yeah, mine was in a ball in my back pocket, so I pulled it out. Had to flatten it out on my chest, like, come on.
One of them's a receipt. You're
yeah,
like, nope,
receipt falls out. Piece of bubble gum.
Just a mess.
Yeah.
Just a mess, dude. So that's obviously what stood out. What was your was about after the wedding? How did the reception go and everything?
Reception was great. We had a magician for cocktail hour. Was a big hit.
Real quick. There's a movie on Netflix, and it's an Adam Sandler movie. Adam Sandler and Chris Rock, and I think it's Father. It's not Father of the Bride because that's a Steve Martin movie, but it's something like that where Adam Sandler is he is the father of the bride, and he's trying to put all this wedding together, and at one point he has a magician that they're gonna get. So that's really funny, and I'm imagining this hack of a magician, but I'm sure you guys did. You got
he's an illusionist, I think is what he goes by. So he was kind of working through the room during cocktail while we were taking pictures and stuff. He's really good. I've seen him perform before. He was huge hit.
Have you guys seen my deck of cards? Just like that's how I'd walk into every conversation.
Never finding the cards.
Yeah.
No,
and then at the end of the night, yeah,
it was pretty good. And then we had a live band, which were incredible. Probably the best piece of money that we spent. The best significant piece of money. The magician was pretty awesome, but we only had him for an hour and a half. The band was absolutely incredible. Though there was this moment where talking again about like how the night is a blur. So I met the lead guy. He came in and said, "Hey, we're here. We're just getting set up. Gonna grab a quick bite to eat. We'll play shortly." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever." Didn't even think about it. And then I was outside by the bar taking some pictures with some friends, and I see a bunch of guys I don't know at around a cocktail table drinking a bunch of drinks. And I'm kind of looking at them, I don't know them. Are they Al's friends? Like, have I met them before? I don't know who this is. And was getting like a little bit frustrated. And then I saw a guy pull out a guitar, and I was like, oh, it's the band. But I definitely thought some fucking guys were crashing our wedding. I was like about to confront them, and it didn't even dawn on me until the guy brought out a guitar from behind like one of the closets, and I was like, oh, okay. We're good.
I thought you were gonna say you looked a little closer and it was Steven Tyler, and you're like, oh, Aerosmith. That's right.
Yeah, that's who we got.
Aerosmith. Yep.
I actually
got
hate
Aerosmith.
Fun fact.
You hate Aerosmith?
I do. I cannot stand. The only song that I like is the one from Armageddon.
No, dude.
That's the only song I like.
No, dude.
Yeah, man.
Why?
I don't know. I don't like Steven Tyler. I don't like his mouth. I don't like his voice. It's not really the type of music from that era that I appreciate. Like, I would go on a limb and say they are the worst popular American band of all time.
What? No, dude. You didn't just say Aerosmith is the worst popular band.
Yeah, they are the
time.
Nickelback of America. That's what I think of them.
I actually saw a video of Nickelback, and they were doing like a cover of a Metallica song, and it was actually really good.
People up in Canada, especially Alberta, because Nickelback's from Alberta, give them a really hard time. They actually have some pretty decent songs, and they're from a tiny, tiny town in Alberta, and they made it. And you know what? People are like, "Oh, they're sellouts." It's like, whatever. They're fucking following their dream. I'd sell out.
Yeah, dude.
I don't like all of their songs, but it is kind of a popular thing up here to hate Nickelback.
It's a popular thing everywhere. Everybody's like, "Oh, I hate Nickelback."
Yeah, but everyone fucking listens to them. They're at every sporting event.
It's true.
One of their songs gets played in every sporting event because it's kind of, it's uplifting rock. Like, let's.
Yeah. Everybody wants to hate on Nickelback, but everybody loves that song from Spider-Man.
That's true.
It was like Chad Kroeger and Josie Scott or whatever.
Yep. That's true. Dude, that is a good one. That is one of the good ones.
That was a banger, dude. I love that song.
But yeah, anyways, fuck Aerosmith.
Maybe I just named this episode Fuck Aerosmith.
Beautiful.
No, I can't put that on iTunes.
I did think about listening to the Joe Rogan with Steven Tyler on it, but I don't think I could handle listening to his voice for 3 hours.
Fun fact, I don't think I've ever actually heard Steven Tyler talk, but if I imagine what he sounds like, very nice, dude. If I imagine what he sounds like, there it is. And Joe is just triggered right now if he ever catches up.
He was triggered when we talked about how badly I crushed him with my left hand.
Oh, you wait, this whole time you forgot to let us know you played with your offhand?
Sure did.
5-0, you beat him with your left hand.
Oh yeah.
And the lore of Jonny grows more. I love it, dude. Oh God. All right, well, I've run out of talking points. Is there anything else you wanna?
No, man. I'm glad to be back and to hang out. Sorry this episode was so wedding heavy, but it was pretty sweet. I do appreciate your text message. And looking forward to getting back into a regular routine.
Absolutely, man. It should hopefully calm down for you here. I don't know what if you have a busier time of year as far as work goes, but it's gonna start slowing down for me here before too long too. So
excellent. Looking forward to it.
Yep. So you guys, we are everywhere. We're on social media. Just search for Jumbled Podcast. You want to shoot us an email, jumbledpodcast@gmail.com or johnny.jumbled@gmail.com. I still don't have mine. But maybe I'll get to that. If you want to listen to us elsewhere from where you're listening, we're on update SoundCloud, since we no longer have a SoundCloud subscription. Since we moved hosting, we're not uploading anymore to SoundCloud. So if you're listening, if you have been listening on SoundCloud, and you're wondering why the past couple weeks have not been uploaded, I didn't realize they weren't uploading until I looked the other day, and then I was like, oh, yep, that's a thing. So anyway, if you came from SoundCloud, welcome, you found us. But we are on Google Play Music, we're on Stitcher, we're on TuneIn, we're on Player.fm, we're on iTunes. Wherever you are, head over and give us a rating and review on iTunes. It helps out more than you know. If you want to be a patron of the podcast, head over to patreon.com/jumbled. Give what you feel comfortable with. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Audible. Head over to audibletrial.com/jumbled and get your free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. Johnny, what book should they get?
So I haven't read it yet, but the one book review that I did for At Night She Cries While He Rides His Steed, the first ever romance novel for dudes, the sequel has come out.
Oh, snap. That's going to... Well, you know what? Let's not get into that. That'll be next month's read.
Okay, I will read it before that, and I will do a thorough review. I'm really excited.
Awesome.
Apparently, there's some drama around that book, and Amazon fucked the author out of making the New York Times bestseller list because he hit the required sales by 600 books. Most of them were done through Amazon. Amazon, the day of it being released, decided to freeze all sales because it had a graphic line in it that they didn't like, and delayed it, and then opened it up after the New York Times bestseller list requirements, so he didn't make the list.
Aw, fuck Jeff Bezos, dude.
Yeah, so
what a shit move, dude.
Buy that book just to say fuck you, Amazon.
Yeah, fight Amazon. I mean, you're probably still going to buy some shit.
Oh, 100%. You can't. I could never get rid of Amazon. But I'll say fuck you, Amazon.
Yeah, fuck you all paying for some
Steven
shit.
Tyler.
I don't like this at all. Cha-ching. Cha-ching.
I hate you, but I'm going to use you every day.
So yeah, that's going to do it, guys. But make sure to check back next week for another episode of Jumbled, your favorite podcast.
About planning weddings.
Ooh, are you the J-Lo in this? You're the wedding planner?
I'm glad that I will never have to do this again.
Yeah, well, yeah. We'll see you guys next week.